Okay, I'm going to talk all about wills in this video. So a will has two really important features. One is that it states who is going to get your assets upon your death, but it also states who would be the one to take care of your children upon your death. Now, if you're married and just one of the spouses passes away, this isn't as big of a deal because the other spouse would just assume to be taking care of the kids and receive the assets. However, I still really recommend that all parents with young kids get a will in place just in case something were to happen to both parents at the same time. So there's a few things to consider when you put a will in place. One is that you will define in there who's going to be the executor of your will. And the executor is the one that just makes sure that everything happens like the will says it should. This is the one who will pay out the assets to wherever they're supposed to go and follow all the rules of the will. The second person that you'll be naming in the will is the guardian or the custodian of your children. And this is the person who would be taking care of your kids upon both your and your spouse's death. So that's a really important role. Another feature of a will that you should consider is called a testamentary trust. I'm going to talk about trusts more in the next video. But a testamentary trust is a trust that's created upon your death. So it doesn't exist today or while you're living. It becomes in effect after you die. And one of the benefits to this is that you can have a little bit more control over your assets and how they're used. So for example, if the people that you choose that you think would be great at taking care of your kids, they're not really the best at making money decisions, the trust could say that someone else is going, and you can define who that person is, of who is going to make the money decisions, is a very common thing that I see happen. So as far as wills go, you can go to an estate planning attorney to get a will done. And I don't recommend, for people in our situation, you don't need a fancy estate planning attorney, just a basic estate planning attorney. Do not go to the DUI attorney and don't go to the bankruptcy attorney. This needs to be someone who really just focuses in wills. Some of them, the attorneys in this area, will focus in wills and maybe real estate or wills and maybe business planning, but just make sure it's someone who works with estate planning quite a bit. So again, in the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about trusts.